I've had guys come in, get teary-eyed before a single word is even said, where they're like, I have this emotional arithmetic in my brain that pain needs to precede worthiness. I need to have worked hard. I need to have like sweat, bled, shattered myself into pieces. Only then do I deserve joy.
This is a really interesting question when you said you're man enough. What does man enough mean?
The enoughness and man enough, it can only be generated from outside sources. And to me, that's what's been lost over time. The pure masculine energy that can be accessed through that initial shattering, through love and through community. Man, I mean, I have like at least 10 guys flash through my mind where I've like witnessed their break moment, as you talked about, and I just feel so excited about what they're going to create in this life. I love the metaphor of a candle can light 1,000 other candles without losing any of its light.
That's very profound. Welcome back to Big Asian Energy. Today, I want to bring up a topic that is kind of hard to talk about for me, honestly, because it's about Asian masculinity. As an Asian guy in North America, the topic of Asian masculinity is kind of like walking a bit in a minefield. There's just so much there. There's the way that we've been perceived in media. There's dating stuff. There's identity stuff. And then there's so many layers to what it means even to be an Asian man. What does it mean to be an Asian man in your family? What does it mean to be an Asian man in dating in a Western culture? What does it mean to be an Asian man just existing or in the workplace? Well, today we're diving in with somebody who has lots and lots of knowledge around this. We're talking to Leo Xia. Leo's known professionally as Lowhi, and you may have seen his videos where he is cutting fruit and talking about some deep, deep topics, or just talking about deep, deep topics. The ones that are talking fruit just happens to be my favorite. He's a Los Angeles-based men's mental health facilitator and an alt R&B lo-fi artist dedicated to redefining Asian masculinity. As a founder of JinShan Collective and a lead facilitator with Proud Asian Men, which is partnered up with the Asian Mental Health Project, he creates spaces where Asian men explores identity, heals generational wounds, and build lasting brotherhood. He's been doing this for the past 5 years and has been leading men's circles, retreats, workshops around the US, integrating things like movement, music, open dialogue, and all these things, diving into emotional intelligence, communication skills, and authentic self-expression. Now, Leo has also been doing a lot of artwork, his music, and all these things. But the most impressive thing that I love about what he does is how he balances that strong masculine fire with vulnerability. And that's what we're going to dive into today. Welcome to the show, Leo.
Thank you for having me. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, I just want to start by pointing out that this is going to be a low voice show because I love your voice. We both have like low voices. So
low frequency.
Low frequency. Yeah, that's where it comes from with this whole thing, Lowhi official. Speaking of which, I want to hear a little bit about the start of your journey. I mean, Asian masculinity is a complex topic. How did you get into it?
Yeah, I mean, even talking about the artist stuff at the beginning, I like to tell people that I feel very fortunate and privileged that I got into the arts very early as a kid, right? Even though at the time it wasn't linked with, say, social justice, masculinity, like gender dynamics, any of these things. It was my first entry point and window into people asking me, "Hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to create? What do you want to say with your voice? How do you want to say it? How do you want to craft it?" So. Thank you, Mr. McCormick, my middle school band teacher. He was the first one to introduce, me to jazz and rock, right? Because before playing classical piano, it was like, shut up and play what's on the sheet music. What are you talking about? Every dynamic is written out for you. So I remember walking to his class and him sitting me at a piano, giving me a chord sheet and being like, "Cool, have fun." And I'm like, I don't see notes on this thing. He was like, "That's a D major chord. Here's a scale of a D major chord. Go nuts." And that was mind blowing to me at the time. So I like to say my journey started there. I can take a quick nutshell. I started writing songs to impress my first girlfriend at the time in middle school, and
can relate.
I did. It was for a very express purpose, that creativity at the time. But getting into college, learning more about Asian American history, there was a really pivotal program there for me called Circle. It was run under the USC APAS program, and I call it an Asian American crash course, because for 7 weeks we met up in a small group and talked about being Asian American in intersection with different topics: gender identity, sexuality, sensuality, immigration, history. And it culminated in a big retreat at the end where we just went to a hotel for a weekend. And that was my first time seeing Asian people cry in front of each other. So imagine 50 Asian USC students sitting around a big circle in this conference room, sharing stories of immigration, of their parents' sacrifice, of their relationship with their parents, and all the joy, gratitude, pain, the whole spectrum of emotions that carries. So that was a big opening point for me of, wow, this is what it's like to connect on a deeper level with people where their stories resonate with you on a deep level. So for me, from there, after graduating college, I had this sense too of, how can I contribute to the Asian American diaspora? What is my unique positionality? And I saw that there were no Asian men's groups out there, as far as I could see at the time. So I just started my own, just posted on Facebook about it, and people responded, and it came together.
Now,
Super nutshell.
Yeah. So I want to ask about this in particular, because Asian men's groups, I mean, I think for a lot of people, the word men's groups might be a completely new term for them. And yes. I'm a big believer in men's work. I've been in it for a long time. I love it. But I find that a lot of times when I bring it up, most people just kind of give me a blank stare. The first two questions I always get is, what's a men's group? And the second thing is, why Asian men? Can you answer those for us?
Yeah, a men's group, I think the way I describe it, where it makes more sense to people, is a men's support group, right? It's a place for us to come together and talk about, in a broad sense first, what's going on in our human lives, right? Our feelings about it, how we're doing, just as any support group would. And in particular, right, for an Asian men's group, you can begin to explore and ask questions, a bit more pointed questions about someone's experience of the intersection between their race and their masculinity, right? And I think, to me, doing this work, over time I've realized I'd rather ask just a human question and allow the guys in the room to bring up, oh, well, I feel like this part of what I'm experiencing is because I'm Asian, or this part is what I'm experiencing is because I'm a man. Because I actually find starting with hey, John, you're an Asian man, you must experience this, so tell me about that. It's actually an assumption, right? There's threads, there's patterns to what we experience, but what happens if, like, now every 2 weeks I'm talking to a room of 25 to 30 Asian American, mostly guys from across the country. Some of the things that apply to Asian Americans in a certain state might not apply to someone else. Right? It's like, oh, well, you guys are Asian American. You guys must have grown up feeling like you were second-class citizens as men in the dating world. There may be men in the room that say, I've never experienced that. That's not my reality. So I prefer to be in a place where I want to ask an open question. And if someone wants to bring something up like that, and then there's guys in the rooms that resonate in a certain permutation, then that's great. But as a facilitator, I don't want to be the one to kind of box that in before the discussion has even begun.
Right. And I think that to a lot of people, even the concept of a support group is maybe a little bit new, right? Like, if I could definitely imagine somebody listening to this, that the question that might come up is, I'm an Asian man. Why do I need a support group for being an Asian man? What are some of the struggles that you see, people bringing in, of why they show up and what do they get out of it?
I think largely it's a space to be themselves. I think when we talk about race conversations, I sometimes find the conversation about Asian men, it gets stuck at a certain surface level, right? Where it's like, oh, we need more representation of, say, Asian men with white women, and to me, I'm like, whoa, okay, what's underneath that, right? Like, if we're thinking almost from a therapeutical lens, but why? To what end, right? And I argue, and I tell all the guys in my groups, my goal is for you guys to sleep better at night.
Hmm.
Whatever that means to you, right? Is it less anxiety? Is it a sense of, oh, I'm going to sleep knowing people love me? I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning knowing people love me?
Hmm.
A sense of deeper belonging.
Hmm.
I often think that's what people are looking for. So what I find
Hmm.
is guys, sometimes they come to my group, whether in person or online, and even before people say a word, sometimes I see guys get emotional. And I call it out. I ask them, what is this right now? And they're like, I don't, I'm not sure. I think I just feel safe here in a way that I don't feel safe in other places.
Wow.
So sometimes it's not about words, what we say, what we ask each other, but
Hmm.
as I'm starting to train other facilitators to or consult on people that want to start similar communities, that's something I offer them at the jump. It's
Hmm.
how do you want people to feel when they walk in, and how do you want
Hmm.
people to feel when they walk out?
Hmm. Why do you think the desire for community is so strong, in particular, I think, with Asian men?
I I think of the collision of being Asian and being a man as like the
Hmm.
ultimate. It's like the ultimate form of theater. You're being asked. You're being asked to perform in
Huh.
so many ways, in so many intersections,
Hmm.
right? It's like, oh, and sometimes those things contradict each other, right? Be quiet, be docile, be obedient in the family setting, but boom, all of a sudden you need to go out in the world and be ambitious and be
Yeah.
cutthroat
Yeah.
and be the person that can stand up for yourself and and have boundaries, right? So then oftentimes you see Asian men land in romantic relationships and they're like, well, which one do I do?
Yeah.
In which setting, right? It's
Yeah.
like sometimes sometimes there's a lack of a toolkit, right, or a lack of
Hmm.
nuance and understanding when to apply which parts of the toolkit. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think that's why Asian men gravitate towards this space, because sometimes the first thing I say in group is like, hey, I'm actually going to start with the assumption that you're man enough, that you're Asian
Hmm.
enough. What
Hmm.
if I hand you those two cards at the beginning of the session? Just have it. You need to do anything to earn it? Take
Hmm.
it. Now that you're man enough, now that you're Asian enough, cool. What do you want to create in this space for yourself and
Hmm.
others, right? And if you're feeling resistance to a random
Hmm.
person handing you your man enough or Asian enough card, let's talk about that
Hmm.
too.
Well, that's really interesting. I'm curious to see what comes up. I mean, when you tell someone, "Hey, let's start with you're man enough and you're Asian enough," I mean, the presumption is a vacuum, right? The presumption is that you might have feelings that you aren't man enough. What has been the response been like? Like, do people come back to you at all? Like, is there anybody who's just like, "Well, what do you mean by that?"
I haven't had anyone, I guess, to get aggressive with me about it. It's more so I find them become curious about themselves in that way, where
Hmm.
they're like, oh, interesting, Leo, as you said that, I felt resistance to it.
Hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful
Hmm.
observation. Why? It's like, well, I have this emotional arithmetic in my brain that pain needs to precede worthiness.
Tell
That
me more.
pain, yeah, pain needs. I need to have worked hard. I need to have like sweat, bled,
Hmm.
shattered myself into pieces. Only then do I deserve joy. Only then do I deserve ease.
Yeah.
Only then do I deserve love,
Hmm.
worthiness.
Oof.
So what the fuck? Why would you just hand that to me?
Yeah.
Your new emotional arithmetic that you're introducing to me does not line up with what I've experienced my entire life.
Hmm.
So
Right.
so sometimes for the guys coming in, what I observe is like, how ready are you for this?
Hmm.
How ready are you for love?
Hmm.
Actually, we're here to offer it. Your enoughness, your worthiness. We're here to offer it in spades through our
Hmm.
words, our energy, the modalities we work through. We're here to offer it. But the
Hmm.
question is, how ready are you to receive it? So it's beautiful to
Hmm.
see the spectrum, right? Again, I've had guys come in, get teary eyed before a single word is even said. Something about the feeling of stepping into a space and the
Hmm.
guys there and their body language and all these things. And you know, we could talk about your experience as well in
Yeah.
men's work, how powerful in person stuff can be.
Hmm.
But you see other guys, ooh, yeah, they'll resist it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have a psychology teacher. He says he would he would ask us, what do you think is the difference between ideas and beliefs? And he would say that you own your ideas, but your beliefs own you.
You
So
own your ideas, but your beliefs own you. That's very profound. Hmm.
yeah, beliefs as the internal operating engine that that
Hmm.
drives everything, right?
Yeah.
So when I offer, right, hey, you're enough, you're man enough, you're Asian enough,
Hmm.
someone that still has a deep operating system that is
Hmm.
constantly screaming, you haven't earned this.
Yeah.
There's not enough. You haven't reached the pain threshold to
Hmm.
deserve ease yet.
Hmm. I
But it's a
I
beautiful moment
definitely.
because
Mm,
it's like a fork in the road. It's like, okay, I know what my old operating system is. I'm being offered a new one. That's the beauty of agency, of free will.
mm,
Which do I
mm.
choose? Or which do I choose to practice? Right. Because it's
Right.
not so simple as like, cool, I'm just going to change beliefs in the course of one experience, one weekend, one workshop. It takes
Yeah.
time.
It definitely takes time. This is a really interesting question when you said you're man enough. What does man enough mean?
Hmm.
Because I can really relate to this personally, and you take your time thinking about how you want. You can take your time thinking about how you want to process that statement. But when I started this journey, I when I was going through my breakup, this was like years ago. I was going through the whole like my dark night of the soul. I was going through this whole time. Basically, all my entire life, I've been focused on performance, right? Like, how do I perform? And performance had two meanings for me. One is performance as in, am I achieving enough? Kind of exactly what we said. Like, love is something I have to earn, validation, recognition, belonging. These are things I have to prove myself through external validation, the degree, my job, what car I drive, all that, BS. And then there's another performance, which is realizing that because I'm in a different place where I'm perceived a different way, I have to look and act in a certain way to be performing a certain way in order to be there. And I started my journey in my early 20s trying to do that, very similar, like when you talk about how you went into music because you wanted to, impress a girl. I went into dating and learning about like pickup and all that kind of stuff and masculinity because I wanted a girlfriend. And I was a pretty shy kid when I was, younger. And I learned
Couldn't tell
that
now, John.
well, hence big Asian energy, right? But like, yeah, I was like, I was a bit of a wallflower because my family had a lot of loud people, and I just learned that the best way to be safe is just to back out.
Mm.
And I learned charisma and communication and all these things as a performative act. So to me, up until before I started really diving into the work, like the definition of masculinity was a performance. It was how others see me. It was about, going to work out and, getting the right look, the right leather jacket, the right walk, the right girlfriend, like all of these things were what I defined it. So I think this is a common and probably a complex question. What's your take?
Yeah, I love that you made the distinction between like it became an externally generated thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? The enoughness and man enough, it can only be
Mm-hmm.
generated from outside sources, right? And there's layers as we're talking about. It could be, am I enough in my family?
Mm-hmm.
Am I enough at work? Am I enough in the dating scene? Say for a straight guy, like, do women find me man enough?
Yeah.
So to actually hand someone the man enough card is, I think that's why it's it can be triggering for some people where it's like, hey, I'm actually presenting you this new concept, this new idea, this new belief that your sense of man enough can be self-generated.
Hmm.
Or in this case, generated in conjunction, in community with other men that also believe it can be internally generated.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with everything you said. That I think that our value and our worth and our identity should come from our own personal agency. But I could hear also another group. I mean, there's subreddits you can go online, like on Reddit, like Asian masculinity, which for a while became quite famous because I think that was one of the things they had. There's a lot of toxicity and anger in that community for a while. I'm not saying necessarily that everyone who participates in that. And I've often asked this question, why? And it gets debated a lot. There's a lot of anger that is pre-existing through that. Now, you and I, we've chatted about this offline before. I'm curious, like, what's your take behind where that anger or some to some degree aggression is coming from? And is there any validity to it?
I think there is some validity to it because I think it's a as my psychology teacher says, as humans, we're addicted to control. The worst feeling in
Mm.
the world as a human in any way typically is a loss of control.
Mm.
Right? It's like, oh, I don't have my TV remote right next to me. I don't have my phone on my control device
Mm.
on me. So, say for Asian men specifically in an American context, right? Everything you
Mm.
said earlier about media representation, obviously a lot of policy and actual real history, like
Mm.
geopolitical history as well, like
Tons.
feeds into that.
Yeah.
So that can feed into a sense of loss of control,
Mm.
right? So I understand that. And I think anger is a beautiful thing to talk about in the context of men's work, right?
Mm.
Because I think a lot of men actually, shy away from their anger very,
Mm.
very deeply. So even though on r/masculinity, r/Asian masculinity, there's a lot of things where I'm like, ugh, I don't like or agree with how that anger is showing up. But to
Mm.
me, as an Asian men's mental health facilitator, there is something there because like, hey, you're angry enough to speak out about this,
Mm.
right? There's that soul part of yourself that's like,
Mhm.
this is unjust. I
Yeah.
want something different for myself. I want my life to feel different. And that's a
Mhm.
powerful catalyst as an energy.
Mhm.
So I think there's a lot of ability to the feeling
Mhm.
itself. I just don't agree with it when it stops at the cosmetic things,
What do you
right?
mean by that?
Like, hey,
What do you mean by cosmetics?
yeah, we're like, hey, just get in the gym.
Mm.
Get in
Yeah.
the gym. Just lose fat. Just earn money, bro. Your life will be great.
Mm.
Oh, just passport, bro. Travel to these other countries where supposedly it's easier for Asian men to date.
Mm.
To me,
Right.
those are cosmetic those are cosmetic issues, right? And
Mm.
that's a lot of the advice that I would see there. But to me, there's that deeper part that we're talking about. It's like, well, what do you believe about yourself,
Right.
right? Um, yeah, because I believe in a community context and a dating context, people are intuitive,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't at a certain level, it doesn't matter how good you look,
Yeah.
or if you're in a place that's advantageous to you, people can feel it, the sense of unease, right? The
Yeah.
feeling of like, oh, I have a feeling, I have a feeling I know what bothers you
Mm.
before you go to bed as you look up at the ceiling,
Right.
right? It's hard to hide that. It's
Yeah.
hard to hide the energy of that.
I like what you said about the energy of that because I think that really, if we were to ask the question of like, okay, to somebody who hasn't done much work, who has just come to this and they're like, I don't need an men's Asian mental health thing. I don't have a mental health problem. I just need to get, a new jacket, a new outfit, better car, hit the gym, get some big muscles, basically look like a Jack White guy as much as possible. And for whatever reason, change my haircut. Like I don't know why, but there's so much obsession with changing haircuts. Like, like every other post is like, what's the haircut for this? And I'm like, dude, like it's not your haircut. It's the way you show up for yourself and to other people. We can see in the room that you are constantly scanning for everyone else's validation.
Yeah.
And that's what you're indexing to feel better about yourself. Like get that fixed. Not to say that has to be fixed as a broken thing, but like take care of that. And then the haircut doesn't matter because that doesn't really, matter that much. I want to
Mm.
let's dive into the really the stuff that is the tough to talk about. Let's talk about the concept of how Asian men are portrayed in the West and how that might change or affect us or even our family dynamics. Do you have any thoughts around that?
Could you frame it as a question?
Yeah. So, there's this history of the word is a complex word, emasculation of Asian men. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about is like the long duck dong from 16 Candles. I'm talking about Asian stereotypes. I still remember when the movie Romeo Must Die came out with Jet Li. I don't know if you were around for that film. Jet Li was an incredible martial artist. And it's called Romeo Must Die because the movie is about Romeo and Juliet retold in modern day time. And there was supposed to be this end romantic scene where he's supposed to be kissing his co-star, Aliyah, or Aaliyah, am I pronouncing? It's been a while. I apologize for any of her fans. But they canceled it because the director said, we tested it out and we pulled it. And it turned out that mainstream America, for the most part, gets uncomfortable seeing an Asian man portrayed in a sexual light. And now it's been 25 years since that film came out. That's, that dates me a little bit. But to a certain degree, there's still some truth to it. We still, to this day, we still are not seeing a lot of Asian men in media representation. And I think that there is some maybe justifiable anger around it. And I'm curious, in your work with all these Asian men, does this topic come up a lot?
Absolutely. About self-body image, self-confidence, especially around romance, dating. As we just talked about, like self-perception is so important, right? Because you're effectively you're colliding your reality with someone else's reality, and if your reality is fragile, I think you're going to have a bad time in general. I think my thought around understanding history and how it's led to our current construction and understanding of Asian masculinity, I think it's a really important piece. What I want to throw in it from my experience is like, how do you interpret that history? Right? Because history is history, right? We can look at the facts of what's happened and be like, cool, that's what happened. And again, this goes into beliefs work, right? Where we can spin off into this fork in the road of, from learning the history about Asian men, I can go this way where I'm like, cool, well, I will never be good enough. I will never be good enough because history has stacked its cards against me. Media, everything. I'm done. I will never be good enough. So might as well give up.
Right.
Might as well resign to a life of celibacy and being alone.
Yeah.
That's one way I could take it. Or there's another way. And this is kind of how I interpreted a lot of Asian American history when I came to the States, because I didn't learn. I grew up for most of my life in Beijing, and I didn't learn a lot of American history. So actually learning the history of like, oh, why are Asian people seen as like overachievers and that they're smart? There's actually specific policy, right? I believe it was the 1965 Hart-Celler Act around the time of the civil rights movement. They were like, we want Asian people, but only the smartest. So the reason for that stereotype is because of government policy, right? It's not because I'm not smart enough as an Asian person, right? It's because these historical factors have built up to that point. So then that actually helped me a lot personally, spiritually, because it helped me move the needle into like, oh, it's not because I'm not enough or I'm not Asian enough. These are the historical factors. It actually granted me freedom, but because I chose that choice. So I think similarly with Asian men around the history, around the media representation, there is a possibility of looking at that history and saying, that was pretty fucked up. Did that make my life harder? Absolutely it did. Absolutely it did. Fucked me up. Like body image, all this stuff.
Totally.
And I'm still going to move from a place of hope, of resilience, of believing my healing is possible, and believing that I can create the highest love that's available for me in this life, whether that's in a community, whether that's, I don't know, partner, wife, kids, legacy, business, entrepreneurship. I'm going to choose to believe in my possibility. So that's how I see it in a nutshell, right? And even in these subreddits, right? You see people as they approach the moment, right? Someone posts, "Hey, did you see that?" Oh, I hate this example. Another Asian woman is dating a white man, that we see all the time, and they're like, but you see the comments, right? There's some people that are like, why do you care about that?
Yeah.
What bearing does that have on your life? Right? How you do in life, and
what's the interpretation you make about you or how other people view you? Right? Because that's always the lens in which we see things. It's like, oh, okay, well, what do you make that mean? Well, it makes it mean that other people view me as this way, which brings to the first question, which is that true? Is it true that actually when people are dating on dating apps that they are seeing you in that way, that you think they are as a result of relationships like this?
Yeah. And you can pull in the mass numbers for dating, but I'm like, for a lot of you guys, you guys want to be in a relationship with one woman. Right? So you don't need to be this machine on the apps that gets like a 90% approval rate. Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to talk too much about like dating app mechanics. That's not my lane at all. But
we're gonna do a
yeah.
follow up. It's gonna be an entire dating app strategy session that we're gonna do a deep dive. We're gonna talk
Not
about
my
what's the
area.
best openers.
Oh
We're gonna talk
man.
about
Oh man. I will be the first to say,
how to
don't listen to
frame
me on that.
your topless your topless shirt gym photos. Oh boy. Hey, if you're finding this episode interesting and you want to check out one of Leo's events, I'm very happy to announce that Leo and I are actually partnering together to host the first ever Vancouver-based Asian men's retreat. This takes place on November 15th and 16th in Vancouver and is open to any Asian men who are looking to deepen their relationship with themselves, step into their warrior energy, find and connect with other Asian men, do some reflection and growth. Because of the size of the venue, we have about space for about 25 people, and we have already sold, I think, 7 or 8 tickets. So if you're interested in checking this out, I'm going to put the link in the show notes below. As well, you can go check out information on Leo's website or anywhere else that you can find, including the link in my bio. The event is going to run from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and our focus is on working to explore the intersection of culture and masculinity in a supportive environment. Because it's a tough, but that is exactly the feeling, right? Like, especially for a lot of these, for a lot of us growing up, there isn't a place we can go to, because it's not like you go to your dad to talk about it. You know, you might have gone to your parents and you might have said, hey, like, how do I get a girlfriend? And I feel like if I suggested this, a lot of my Asian friends are going to be like, you don't tell your parents that you're getting a girlfriend until you are a doctor, graduated from Harvard, and now you have your own house. And now they're like, well, now you're 25, go get a girlfriend, and have kids and have grandkids.
Yeah, good luck.
Right? Because
Good
like
luck
these
with
are,
that.
yeah, exactly. Good luck with that. And the reality is that, like, because there isn't that same model, right? We learn best through models. We learn in community. We learn what other people do. It's like, I remember I was very lucky, because I remember when I was in high school, I had an older guy from the same school. He's a couple years older, and he was just a cool Asian guy. Like, he was just cool. And I don't even know what it was about him. He just was so confident, so relaxed, and so at ease that it shifted my view. Yeah. And that was the biggest thing. Right. He was just self-ownership. And it made me realize, oh, okay, all right, that exists. But not everyone has people around them, which is why community is such an important thing.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because something I've realized recently is, I think some people have a perception, right? They see a man that's fucking up in some way in life, and the first response is, get his ass in therapy. Oh my God, that man is messed up. Get him in therapy. And I'm a proponent of therapy, right? I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I just see through my work, sometimes it's even more powerful for a man just to be in a men's group setting, and they look across the room and they're like, oh man, just the male comparison game that just happens naturally, right? Like,
yeah,
to me, what I see work actually a lot is to have people in the room that people just like respect for whatever reason, like, oh, their demeanor, their energy, as they're saying, or they're just jacked, right? And you're like, damn, that guy hits the gym.
Yeah.
To have a man like that sit in a circle with everyone else and be like, man, when I was working out the hardest, that's when I felt the most fucked up.
Yeah.
That's when I felt the most lonely. And I couldn't figure it out, right? That's when I felt the most broken. And I thought I could lift my way out of it, but I couldn't. I had to go within. You know, maybe I did go to therapy. Maybe I did do men's work, as we're talking about. Maybe I did do personal development work. But yeah, brothers, I had to go in. I had to go inwards, because I tried everything out there, right? Oftentimes that's the spark, right? Because it's an a man-to-man conversation. Because even in therapy, one-on-one therapy especially, it sets up a hierarchy from the beginning that, for men that haven't done any work can honestly be pretty uncomfortable. So I call it the work of maximum permutations, John, because if you get a room of 30 Asian men like we did in May, when one guy shares a story, that's hitting 29 other men at the same time.
Oh,
you don't know
100%.
how it's hitting. So then, boom, someone shares, that's 29. Someone else shares, that's another 29 permutations. So we're just creating the maximum possibility of healing through storytelling, right? And I always get this feedback of, especially people that come for the first time, they're like, it is almost creepy how much I feel close to these guys now, because everything they said could be me.
Yeah.
I felt that exact same thing. I've been in that exact same place, right? So then that's why the feeling of belonging is created throughout, even if it's, you know, the hour and a half online session or throughout the day for a retreat, because you have these permutations of belonging, of vulnerability. But that's why community is powerful, right? As you said.
Yeah.
And that's why, having done this for 6 years, that momentum that carries forward is so important. Because now we have guys in their like early to mid 40s, right? When when they speak, I kind of want to shake the younger guys in the room and just say, "Shut the fuck up and listen."
Oh, 100%.
Listen to these guys, right? Like, obviously, wisdom isn't one-to-one transferable like that. It's not a USB stick you can just poke into your brain and get everything. But it's the opportunity, right, for wisdom to infuse through a generation. Right, we're actually trying to connect these synapses that, frankly, a lot of our fathers didn't connect with us.
Right.
Yeah. So we can't go in the past and change these father-son relationships that a lot of us had as Asian men. But what can we do? We have an opportunity to model and create what we want. Right. Even before a lot of us have kids, so that when we do have kids, that's ready. Right. So that's why I'm excited. One of the guys in our men's community, he just had a baby, and it made me
congrats.
Congrats
to him. Congrats to him.
Yeah. He's in my all men's community, but it gets me emotional because I know him so well now through the groups, and obviously he needs to take a leave because they're gonna be taking care of the baby. But just wow, this guy I know how much he's fought to get to that point where he can accept love, accept his success, and has done so much work on himself. And now he's going to be a father, a man that's done men's work. It's not about perfection, but wow, what a journey. What a place to be.
Think about the generational patterns that he is breaking in the process. That generational trauma he's no longer passing down. Those beliefs that he no longer has to instill upon the next generation. I'm a huge believer that the best thing you could do as a parent is go do your own work and not try to do it from your children. Like a lot of parents are like, oh, I'm going to get my children to fix all my mistakes. Here's all the things that I haven't accomplished. So I'm going to pass down my beliefs to him or her. So with them, so that they could go through and fix my mistakes. Like, no. It comes from you, and then they watch you. That's not listen to you, not obey you. They watch you. They watch what you do. Their mirror neurons are firing. Yep. How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with when his mom challenges you?
That's right.
Because your woman is going to challenge you, or your partner is going to challenge you, because that's what relationships are. And how do you deal with that? Do you go into anger? Do you kind of take a moment? Do you resolve it? Do you go do your own processing work and come back? They're learning all of that. I think this is why it is that the work is so difficult so important, because it is so difficult sometimes to learn from a top-down perspective. Like, even in therapy, like I said, you said before, I think therapy, huge believer in it, but you're in a container. And most therapists are women. It's just that's just the industry. And most therapists you can find are going to be white women. That's just, again, this is just a demographic. So you are not necessarily therapy is super important, super powerful, but you don't get that echo. I'll share a story. Very similar to what you talked about. We do these shame shares, shame circles, which is we just have
Tell me more.
A circle, and then men will just share whatever it is that at the moment they've been hiding. Right, this is what we talk about. When we start diving deeper into what are we hiding that we're afraid of other people seeing, especially because when you come from a background and culture that so focuses on external validation and external achievement. Sharing what is going on in your life that is hard to talk about is not just a reflection of you and how you failed, which is a no-no, but it's also a reflection on, your community. So we're taught very early on to be like, if you're doing well, go tell everyone about it. In fact, everyone is going to tell it for you, and just pretend to be humble. But if you're struggling, tell no one, because that's shameful. And so this is what we do. Like guys in the group will, step forward into the circle, and we don't call on them. We just get them to step in. And there's times because then they have to deal with that confrontation and that they have to want to take the step, and they'll share things. And I have guys share things like, I feel like I'm failing my relationship. They talk about sex, they talk about work, they talk about everything. The most common thing we hear is just, I just feel like I'm just not good enough, and I never will be.
Yep.
And this is what we do. We get the people in the group. I always say this, that if you feel like some guys shared something that you resonate with, take a step forward into the circle. And man, when you see that moment when a guy's up there and he's just like, I got to say, I just feel like I'm not good enough. And everyone takes a step forward.
Come on, man.
Those are the moments where you see that light go off and they're like, oh my God, wow, I can say that and you're still here. I can say that and you still respect me. I can say that and you still want to be here standing next to me, be in brotherhood with me. Mind blowing.
Right? Or even the simple thing of like, even John feels that way.
Yeah.
He's so charismatic. He runs these things. He's an author. God, everyone loves him. And I feel intimidated by him sometimes. Oh, wow. He feels that too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I feel, and this is one thing I always say. It's like, I feel everything. Any time a guy is sharing something, most of the time, I'm like 100%. Imposter syndrome, not good enough. You're afraid to make mistakes, afraid that the thing that you talk about the post do is just going to be received the wrong way. Yeah. Bring it out. Let us be here with you so that you see that you're still lovable after you share that.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
More respected.
Always.
More celebrated.
Always. Yeah, we have to do too. Just raise your hand if you felt like you felt closer to them. Raise your hand if you feel like you respect him more now that he shared this.
Ooh, come on, man.
Every time. Yeah. Vulnerability is easy to talk about. It's such a challenging thing to make space for. And I think this is why we need more spaces like this. What is it like?
I just need a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly moving. I think sometimes doing this work, I used to feel so alone in doing it. It felt like if I stop doing this Asian men's work here the way I'm doing it, then it's not going to happen. One, that's a lot of pressure to put on myself. That's also my ego, right? Wanting to be the one and only savior,
the one,
right? But
Leo, the Jesus Christ of Asian men.
Yeah. I roll my eyes at myself and the internal workings of my ego.
I laugh because I can relate. And I think anyone who is in the work at some point has gone through and being like, I'm going to bring this work to everybody and it's good. And then you're like, oh shit, that's just more ego. I'm going to show everyone how not egoic I am and how evolved I am. I've done all this work. I'm the best therapy client ever. Like, oh shit.
I've personally developed so hard, brother. Like you couldn't even.
I'm better than you. That's how not better than you I am. I'm so much more vulnerable than you. This is hilarious, dude. So funny.
But yeah, that's kind of what I had to learn over time to let it down, because it's like, what's first, my ego or the mission or the impact? And that's changed a lot for me in this past year because I learned to ask for help. I learned to trust others, right? Some of our best workshops this past year have been like just guys in our community that have been coming to events. And I'm like, oh, you're a dancer. Interesting. Let's talk. You're a taiko drum master, right? You played taiko drums for decades, right? Let's talk. And just talking to people being like, open canvas. What's your dream event? What's your dream? And they reflected me now. It's like, Leo, it's kind of insane that you trusted us with that. You didn't know us. You didn't, but I was like, I didn't know you in terms of your craft and stuff, but just seeing you in the groups, I knew your heart. I knew your character. I knew your intent, right? So releasing control to allow other people to be their best, to serve in the ways that they know best, right? And it's also made it more sustainable for me, right? So men's work has been really revealing for myself too, right? It's revealed my own dark corners of like the ways that I still was resistant to asking for help. Ways that I still thought there was a dark corner of myself that if someone saw, no one could ever love this. So it pushed me in my work too. So it's always humbling to talk about this work, because it's not just, oh, like, Leo, what have you done? What have you done for people? It's like, it's done so much for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm even having, faces of different men flash through my life of like, yeah, that man has hugged me while I'm crying my eyes out uncontrollably. Like, I can't even speak, cry. And I think it's experiences like that contribute to the sense that, I can sleep well, because I know there's going to be love for me in the morning. I know there's love for me right now out in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people just talking well of me, even when I'm not there, stuff like that. So that's ultimately what I want to create for these guys, is to show them, hey, that it's possible, but fuck, is it going to take some bravery from you?
100%. Yeah. Because there's so much being healed, right? Like I think there's so much that we take a look at, and there's a isolation that we describe. I can't receive help. I'm not allowed to receive help, because then you'll see me as weak. Then you'll see me as a failure. Then you'll see the true me that nobody else sees, that I'm secretly fucked up. Or that I'm secretly a fuck up, right? Like, that's always the deeper fear, is that like nobody else knows this because I do a pretty good job pretending. But the truth is I have no idea what I'm doing. And then of course you start cracking that open, and people start realizing, oh, nobody has any idea what they're doing. Nobody you meet, the most successful person you know, has no clue what they're doing. They're just making it up as they go. Right? The only people who know what they're doing are people who haven't grown. They're the people who are in high school and they never left high school because they just never changed. Great. But stepping into that takes courage. I still remember one of the most powerful, as you were saying, the face of the people that flash in front of you. I'm like, I remember my first breakthrough, and so many other breakthroughs that I've experienced. But my first personal breakthrough, I was so resistant to it. Like I said that I was emotionally constipated for the entire like 20 years of my life. I couldn't cry. I didn't have feelings. The only feeling I had was I could smile and I could be happy, and that was because I couldn't access it. I couldn't access my own anger. I couldn't access that fire, that charge. And I remember being at one of my first men's group that I had joined back in that time, which was created by my brother-in-law, led by my brother-in-law. And I remember just sitting there and judging the fuck out of every single other guy in the group.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah.
I'm like, I make more money than you. I drive a better car. Like, what is this? And we're just sharing around a circle and coming to me, and I'll start talking about what I'm going through. And then one of the guys challenged me. He was just like, like stand up. And then we locked hands, and we had this thing. And he was like, I want you to just yell and like push against my arm. So like, think about like high ten somebody and, like lock hands and like pushing against it. And it's something about the somatics of that physicality. I had never had that kind of energy come through. And as soon as I started yelling, I just cracked.
Wow.
And like halfway through the yelling, that yelling became crying.
Wow.
And I just started sobbing. And then he just stopped and he just like came over. He gave me a hug. My brother-in-law came over. The whole group stood up and they all put their arms around me.
Wow.
And I was just so, I would say touched, but the truth was I felt ashamed. Because the shame was that I never let that energy in for such a long time to be loved. Because I thought the way to be loved was to push other people away, especially other men. I didn't know how to be with other men.
Right. There's a special, I've talked to, especially the older guys in the group, right? There's a special kind of grief there, right? When we do similar somatic like group work of what you're describing, it gets me emotional thinking about, right? Because it hits them, right? There's that initial like, oh my God, like sweet Jesus, like release. Yeah. Oh, I've been holding so much for so long. And the painful second wave that comes is you're telling me I could have had this 20 years ago. Yeah. Because now that I'm experiencing that reality, I have to admit that my previous belief wasn't real.
Yeah. And I could have just been receiving love.
Grief. Yeah.
And be in community and have friends who actually care about me and not just be like, yeah, everything is great. And like kind of push them away and keep them at arm's length a little bit so they don't get too close. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Other men. And I think this is particularly the
Right.
case. I think men, statistically speaking, are usually lonelier compared to women because we don't have it as a social function. And I think as Asian men, it's even deeper because there's the added element of face, right? Especially from Eastern cultures that have that, like there's a face thing. So there's
Yeah.
competitiveness that's already pre-existing in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that isolation is so hard to get through.
I think to offer some hope into this into this phenomenon that we're talking about is that what I find is that when Asian men in particular find this kind of work and the belonging they can create, one, it really hits them, but it like binds them to it in a certain way, right? Like maybe this is confirmation bias of the kinds of men that show up to the group, but there's just that feeling of like, I found it and I'm not letting this go.
100%. Real brotherhood.
You guys are right. Exactly. You guys are my brothers now because I respect you. I respect what you guys do, who you are, the kinds of work that you do. What do you need? You need me to buy a donation ticket for someone? I got you. You need me to drive someone that doesn't have a car to the event? I got you. You want me to tell more people about it? I got you. Right. Like, this is powerful to me because I find when Asian men find that empathy for themselves, it opens this whole new capacity for service. Right. Because then they're like, oh, wow, I feel good. I feel resourced, not just in a monetary financial way, but I feel resourced in my heart. I feel enough. I feel man enough. I feel Asian enough. Who can I help? Right. What can I amplify? What can I build? Right. And to me, that's what's been lost over time, where it's just like that the pure masculine energy that can be accessed through that initial shattering, through love and through community. Man, I mean, I have like at least 10 guys flash through my mind where I've like witnessed their break moment, as you talked about, and I just feel so excited about what they're going to create in this life for themselves, for others. I love the metaphor of a candle can light 1,000 other candles without losing any of its light.
I love that.
And I'm seeing these guys once they, and again, I that's a core principle in the way I do my work is like, we're here to meet you where you're at. Right. If you come and we're trying to give you an opportunity to access anger or whatever it is, and you don't crack, that's okay.
Yeah.
See you next month. Right. Or whenever you come back. Because,
whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's been my personal experience in some of these, I'd say, more white dominant personal development spaces where I believe sometimes they can actually push too hard. And it doesn't become about like, let's meet people where they're at. It becomes like a militant. It needs to look like crying on your hands and knees. Otherwise, we didn't create a breakthrough for people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Where I'm like, some people are ready, some people aren't yet, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the dream of my work to create infrastructure over time, not to force people to come to the infrastructure, but when people have their moments of realizing, hey, this is important, I want to put energy, time towards this, that it's going to be readily available to them.
100%.
Right. That's the idea of starting to create chapters in different cities. Right. So that when you're ready, it's not like, oh, but the only in-person stuff is in California or in Arizona. It's like, oh,
and
I'm ready now.
I can sign up right now. We're gonna chat about setting up an event up here in Vancouver in Canada.
That's
we're
right.
See some big Asian energy, Lowhi official collaboration collabs, like those shoes things. I have no idea how to do what. I know nothing about like popular media. I'm so aged out, man, dude. I will add this, and I think that this is a big part of it because I do think if you're a man listening to this and you're an Asian man, I have been a facilitator of both mixed, like all men groups, which is mostly white men, and Asian specific. And I do think that there's a difference. I kind of want to echo that difference. And the difference is that understanding of the family and the cultural piece that doesn't always show up, and it doesn't look the same. I think there's different layers to what masculinity is seen as in those things. And like you said, I have been to men's groups in more westernized contexts, and they are much more focused on the individualism of it. Like it's your shadow work, it's your inner work, it's your trauma. Like let's like blow that up and like get you to scream in people's face and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I find that in Asian groups, there's so much more community underneath it. And I think that foundation is something that we so need.
Yeah.
So on that note, how do people find out more about your events and what you guys are putting together and all that? Where do we find it?
Yeah, there's a website in construction right now that will be, I believe it's going to be proudasianmen.com at that point. But for the moment, you can find me on social media at Lowhi Official, Lowhi Official, or Asian Mental Health Project. A lot of our Asian men centered work is promoted through there. They have a newsletter as well if you're looking for more general resources around Asian mental health as well. But yeah, that's where we post about our live events. So who knows? I mean, things are expanding more quickly than I could have ever imagined. So if you're listening from a certain part in America where you're like, hey, this work would benefit us, can you come here? Let's begin that conversation. Because we're ready. We're ready. We have a team of experienced facilitators. Right. We're printing merch soon as well. Some Proud Asian Men merch. So really excited for you guys to see that.
Yeah, I cannot wait to wear my Proud Asian Men shirt or hat or whatever you got.
Oh, because if we do one, later in the year, I'll bring one up for you. No problem.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, beautiful. I got my Big Asian Energy shirts. It's gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
Crush.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really important question to ask, especially for people who are new to the work and just might be on the fence about it. What can they expect when they first show up?
Okay, cool. I'll talk about online and offline.
Sure.
In different answers. Online, I'd say a pretty rough structure is we'll get everyone in there. We'll do an emotional check-in through a literal poll that we made, and basically a quick breath guided meditation to ground, get everyone into the space. You never know who's going through what, so just to center us all in the space. And then I'd love to introduce new people if they want to speak. We've been getting a good amount of new people each time, and then we just have a central question for the day, and it becomes roundtable. I tell the guys, if after I've done my intro stuff, if I could not talk for the rest of the session, just because you guys are so excited to talk to each other and build on what each other are saying, that's actually my ideal scenario.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And I really appreciate the online community because it's gotten to the point where it really becomes self-maintaining to many regards, right? There's guys that are seen as like leaders. People look to them as new guys come in. People in chat will just introduce themselves and be like, "Hey, so glad you're here," without my prompting. So I find that's a very welcoming space, and we're very chill online space as well, especially for the Asian one. If you want to be off camera, even for the first time, we don't enforce like face on camera. If you want to just come and experience it, and that group's free as well. So I find that's the best entry point to find how some of these conversations resonate with you. For the in-person, pretty similar structure. Give some time to. My goal is to always get you guys connecting to each other as quickly as possible. So whether it's like little breakout groups or getting through meditation, announcing intentions. Why are you here? We usually have a modality for the day, right? Like dance, taiko drumming, something like that. So at some point, I'll hand it over to the guest facilitator. Our next one in LA is on August 23rd, and it's going to be a cooking class. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, we'll talk food.
Dude,
culture,
I'm stoked for that.
Food
in Asian culture is the big deal. We have great food.
Yeah, I mean, we could do something like that up in Vancouver as well, right? Where it's like we get together as a group of Asian men, we talk it out, then we cook together, literally break bread together, and then we talk more at the end to kind of reflect on the experience. But yeah, every in-person event is very different. But I will say a really key part of what we do is what we now call an acknowledgement circle. So every opportunity I get at the end of an event, it's like, hey, we're going to take some time as a group of men. This is your opportunity to acknowledge someone, or really what I say, to honor them, not for what they do, not for what they just bring tangibly to the table, but for who they are, their character, right? And I really tell these guys, hey, take this seriously, because this is your opportunity to tell someone something that they would normally only hear at their funeral.
I love that.
How many men don't get to hear these kinds of things, especially from other men, right? Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your creativity, your gifts. Thank you for the way you were present with me. Thank you for the way you listen to me. Thank you for being who you are. Right. And it's beautiful. It sounds so simple, but frankly, it's my favorite part of every event. Usually at least one person crying. Usually starts with me at some point. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. We really just don't see enough space like that. We don't see enough brotherhood. We don't see enough of this, like, Asian men supporting one another through hard days and dark nights. And spaces that you create are creating that. And for that, I thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I acknowledge and honor you. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Leo, for all your time. Go check out his events. Go check out his online community. Go check out his merch. And I just got to say, if you haven't seen his videos yet, he puts out some amazing content where he talks about these issues in a really beautiful way. Oftentimes when he dives deeper into the complexities of these things. So if you're just learning about this, if you're just new to the work and you're like, what are you guys even talking about? Start there, because oftentimes that might open up some doors that you may not realize you were always ready for. Thanks again. Appreciate you, Leo.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for listening to the episode. And if you find it helpful, please don't forget to send it to someone you care about. And once again, Proud Asian Men and Big Asian Energy is partnering together to host its first ever Vancouver-based retreat on November 15 and 16 of 2025. We currently still have a few spaces left. And if you're interested, please go and check it out at our website or on Leo's homepage where he hosts these kind of events. This is going to be a healing space that focuses on building our warrior energy, connection, bonding, our relationship to ourselves, our relationship to our culture. And I'm super excited to put it together. We've already sat down and we mapped out all the itinerary of the events and practices, exercises that we're going to do. I mean, it's just going to be incredible. I can't wait to see you there. If you're interested, you can also feel free to send me an email at team@bigasianenergy.com, and I'll make sure to send you all the information there. Hope to see you soon.